happy readers, my name is Liz and welcome to my tour stop of Isle by Jes Dory. I am doing a review today and I hope that you enjoy it. Now for the little mini trailer.
My name is Eleonora Ada Stone. I am now living on this God-forsaken island in Maine. I am bound to a man for all eternity. I was being kept from a world of secrets. I am not human. I never was. I am dangerous.
Thank you, Editing Magic, for that, but also Casey from Dark Readers who put this tour together. She did a wonderful job on that little trailer. So to give a little bit of a summary, Eleonora, aka Nora, and her aunt have been moving around the country just like all the time. She doesn't really make a whole lot of friends, and she moves to this small town in Maine in which she was born and her aunt grew up, and you know, her mom passed away, her dad's a mystery really, and Nora's like, why are we moving back here? This is kind of crazy. This is kind of... Why? It is upon the eve of her 18th birthday that she discovers she's a descendant of the sirens. It's also called the Sirene, and there's this whole lore in here, and she is particularly special. She's got some unique powers. She's got the daemon inside of her, and she's got some other kinds of powers that you will learn throughout reading this book. I know that already sets off some red flags as far as, oh my gosh, another one of those books, but it really is a trope within paranormal, and I feel like that's something that we need to realize with some things, is not so much complaining about tropes. I know we can all have our own opinions and everything, but I feel like sometimes we get so like, ooh, not that one again, but it's like, hey, you know, if you're main character didn't have some special powers and they're living in this paranormal world, wouldn't you be kind of inquisitive as to what the heck are we even doing here? So her Aunt Ada lays it all down and is like, here's where you came from, here's all the different bloodlines, here's literally everything that you need to know about the sirene kinds of people, and there are good people and there are friends and there's some really terrible people. And then there are also the elders, who are a mystical bunch and who are kind of sketchy. There are times where you're just like, I don't know if those people are to be trusted, but that's kind of everybody in power, so whether it's a paranormal book or a dystopian or anything else. So upon her learning that she is a siren, that she is of a particular bloodline, she meets Aston. Oh wait, I can't forget, before she finds out that she has these powers, she makes actual human friends, and they are quite chill people and hilarious people and all those fun things, and her aunt's like, hold on JK, let's go and talk about some things that are gonna make your life complicated. Also, there was somebody else involved that there was a lot of running in the woods. There's a lot of running in the woods in this novel. So, Eben, who is her, you know, crush-ish person, kind of gets pushed to the wayside. You kind of forget about him a little bit here and there. You do find out some things about him and his family, but for the most part it's kind of like ruled out that he is not going to be a part of any sort of love triangle, which is totally fine. Talking about tropes, let's talk about the fact that was just kind of like, take care of that. So in comes Aston, and he is quite the handsome boy, and he helps train her, and he also helps kind of figure out her powers and things like that and how to control certain things, which is kind of neat because she's just got a lot of stuff going on, and there's a little bit of it that's just like, oh man, these sirens, they are some scary people. Not that all of them are bad, but they're, you know, it's like, if you don't control these things, you can become basically a rabid beast like his twin sister, Leah? Yes. She's not quite rabbit, but she is part of, like, team bad guys. That's what we could call them. She's pretty bad. Pretty bad. There is quite a line between the good guys and the bad guys. The bad guys are all like, we need this to be pure. This is the only way. And then the good guys are like, it's okay if we mingle with other people and mingle with humans and things like that. And the bad guys are like, no, we can't. We can't have it. Something that I do want to touch on this book that kind of like confused me was the lack of descriptions of people. Like, I have no idea, like, other than the fact that Nora's eye color changes, I have no idea what she looks like. We honestly have no idea who, like, anybody really looks like. It just, there's not a whole lot of description there. So I just assumed that everybody was white and heteronormative because that's really what it felt like. Like, everybody was, at least the adults, were pretty much paired up or divorced or something like that. The only character that I felt was kind of set apart was Yale. She is a mute character, but she can communicate telepathically with a couple of different people. And what's interesting is that Nora can telepathically talk to her back. I guess you could say the diversity was more in the bloodlines, but at the same time, again, not a lot of descriptions of the characters, so you don't really know, like, who are these people? Who? There were some really climactic scenes that were done really well, like you're on the edge of your seat kind of stuff, where, you know, they're running through the woods, or Nora is swimming with the seals and she gets the down low on the bad guys, overhears them talking about their plans and things like that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how are they not seeing you, and how are you not just like crawling into your own self, because that is scary. They could kill you. The twist of this novel, there's, you know, you could say there are twists within, like, her finding out her own powers and things like that, but, like, one of the main twists having to do with a certain character who has not been seen till this point. The twist was insane. Oh my goodness. Just, it's one of those where you're just, like, so completely shocked that it happens, and there's a lot of deception going on in this book, well, you know, between characters and things, but, like, oh goodness, you won't see it coming, because it literally comes out of the dark. Literally. To wrap up this little review, I would like to say that this is the kind of book that will help you get out of a rut for sure. If you like a little bit of paranormal here and there, I do. I sometimes call it like urban fantasy, but this is definitely one of those where it's like, for sure, some paranormal stuff with some lore in it, and just, yes. I haven't heard that this is the start of a series, but I feel like it would be a good series starter. It just, not that it leaves any sort of loose ends at the end, but it definitely feels like one of those where it's like, okay, here's our jumping point. Now let's keep exploring Nora's powers and her family and everything else on that island, and talking about Aston's family, because he shows her his grandfather's island and things like that. But yeah, I will post below some of the other stops on this booktube book tour, as well as where you can find this book and read it for yourself, because you should do it. You should do it. Do it. So let me know below, what is your favorite book that uses mythology? That was probably a better word to use rather than lore, but it's probably not the same thing. Everybody's gonna correct me in the comments, but I just think mythology is always fun to kind of wrap into a modern day story, so let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys have a great day, and keep reading.